Hello everyone, welcome to today's Knowledge webinar, Become a Professional Sound Designer with Audio Design Desk. Audio Design Desk is a next generation digital audio workstation with an enormous royalty-free sound library. It also features a custom AI called Sonic Intelligence, helping you work faster and explore more options. Audio Design Desk is proudly used by Netflix, HBO Max, and Hulu, among others. Learn how Audio Design Desk understands the relationship between sounds, so producing and editing becomes 10 times faster than any other digital audio workstation. Today's webinar presenter, Gabe Cowan, is a multiple award-winning filmmaker who has produced over 20 feature films. Over a dozen of Cowan's films have premiered at major festivals, including Cheap Thrills, which won the Audience Award at South by Southwest. Cowan is also a multi-platinum recording artist who has toured the world playing his music. So this show is not to miss today. And now let me tell you a little bit about Knowvedge. Knowvedge is changing the way designers purchase 3D software, offering more choices, more freedom, best advice, faster service, and no headaches. Check us out at knowvedge.com. And this is an example of a page where you could find Audio Design Desk Professional on our catalog. Check us out at knowvedge.com. And now, without further ado, I'm gonna share the stage with Gabe. Take it away, Gabe.
Great, thank you so much. We really appreciate being here with Knowvedge and with you, Barbara. So I'm gonna take over the screen sharing here. And we're going to talk a little bit about sound design. I'll just expand a little bit on what you were saying about me. So yes, I got signed right out of high school. I got a couple of platinum albums. I was hired by Roger Corman to score a film. And through that experience, started making movies. I produced over 20 feature films. And, you know, sound is so important. It is the immersive part of filmmaking. Try watching your favorite scene without the sound on. That scene that made you cry, turn the sound off and see if it makes you cry. It's same with, you know, if it makes you laugh or it makes you scared. It's the sound that brings in the emotion. And I've always felt that way. And about 6 years ago, I was trying to find a rise I was building a trailer for one of my movies, and I wanted to find that rise to the, you know, to the title of the film, title. And it was too slow to be double clicking on all these rises inside of Pro Tools. So I was out on the desktop, hitting the space bar, auditioning, dragging it into Pro Tools. You trim it up, you move it over to the right spot, you untrim, and it's just, and then it wasn't the right one. You got to do it over again. And if you want to do footsteps, forget about it. Like it's, you got to bring in a thing with footsteps, chop them all up, manually place every single footstep. This is not a good system. And so we thought, well, let's set out to fix this system, because current digital audio workstations and current nonlinear editors aren't built to create sound for visuals. They're being repurposed to do it. Our system, Audio Design Desk, takes a unique approach and a really simple approach to creating audio for video. So sound design, for example, hits, rises, transitions, drones, textural and pitched elements. Our system classifies and categorizes all those kinds of sounds so that they understand their relationship with one another and also their relationship to the image on screen. And so in this example right here, I've got a big fight scene from the movie Sleepy Hollow, and you can see that there's all of these markers here. So there's a lot of different ways that we can interact with these sounds, and one of them is while you're editing to be placing some markers. But we're going to show you a lot of different stuff right now. I took this edit and I uploaded it to Frame.io, and Jared is going to take it now, and where he's going to download this into Audio Design Desk through Frame.io. You'll see the timeline populate with sounds. He'll then build all the sound effects, sound design, music. He's going to create an original score. He's going to use this technology in a lot of different ways to show you how easy it is to make professional sound for film. So I'm going to hand it over to Jared.
All right, thank you, Gabe. So here we are finally in Audio Design Desk, and here in Audio Design Desk, we have our Frame.io window over here, and this is the video that he uploaded. So I can go ahead and I can double click that. And Gabe was talking about those markers he placed on that. So in those markers, the video editor is probably saying, I want to rise to this moment here. I want to hit here, or I want to start with this kind of an ambience. An Audio Design Desk can search through that video and find those markers and bring them in just as comments, but we can also bring them in as audio. So then we can essentially get an entire first pass of our sound design here ready to go. And you'll notice with our first pass, it's already starting to look pretty good. We're pretty filled up. He gave me a ton of markers, lots of hits, rises, transitions, ambience, drones. But it's probably not going to be 100%. And we might want to replace a region here or there. Like this one's looking like it's pretty intense for being the very beginning of the scene. So we can start by replacing that using Command R. And you'll notice that there's a whole new hit there at that same exact moment in this clip. And that's because of the sonic intelligence we've created. So whenever I'm pressing Command R, I'm telling Audio Design Desk to search through our library of currently over 40,000 sounds. It'll be 50,000 in just a couple months. And to pull a new hit and place it right at the moment of that scene. And that way we don't have to worry about resyncing any of our sounds. You don't have to delete a sound, pull in a new one, and then drag it around and get it back to the right point. Audio Design Desk is already looking at every sound and doing that for you. So hits tend to be at the beginning of a sound. Transitions tend to be in the center of the sound. Rises tend to be at the end of the sound because it knows that that's the point that you want to sync that sound to a clip. And we've applied this to more than just sound design. We've applied it to Foley as well. So if a footstep, you're probably aligning the heel to right when the person bops on the screen like that, so that it knows that that's the point that you want to align that footstep to the video. And using that, it just means that I can play through this, use our hotkeys to quickly set some levels, as well as replace any sound design elements I feel are a little out of place on the fly in real time. Awesome. So we have our whole clip here. And now that that is done, honestly, I really enjoyed a lot of this. I feel like maybe this one could have been a little more outro-y. And this one has kind of a build up on it. So we can just quickly replace that and bring it down in there as well. So now that we have this first sound design pass pretty much within seconds of getting the video, we can move on to the Foley. And with the Foley, if you've done any sort of audio editing work, you know that that's going to take the longest amount of time. And that's because, again, you're bringing in stems, chopping them up into elements, and then you're resyncing every single individual Foley element to the video. But with Audio Design Desk, we have this triggers window down here. And in the triggers window, you'll notice that we have this keyboard. And that's if you were to have a MIDI keyboard plugged into your computer, you could use that to trigger sounds. But we also have 1 through 0 here. And that's the 1 through 0 keys at the top of your QWERTY keyboard. So if I were to click the 6th trigger, which is also the 6th key, you'll notice that we have all these sword clashes. Now, if I go into my timeline and I press the 6th key, I'm going to get one of those sword clashes placed right at the playhead. And we can. And most people will probably go through and start out at 1/3 speed, or they might even start at half speed, pressing the number keys at the top of their keyboard as they see the sounds happening. So they would do this. But with Audio Design Desk, we have created this ability to play through in real time with just honestly a little bit of practice. We can perform and create Foley in real time. Awesome. And just like that, we were able to create all of the Foley for this in real time.
Holy smokes. That was insane. And I just want to slow that down for 1 second, because when you're seeing this for the first time, it goes by really fast and it's like, what is happening? So let me just make sure I understand. You took sounds, you put them on those numbers over on the left-hand side. You then pushing those numbers on your QWERTY keyboard, and the sounds are populating the time. You're performing these sounds.
Yeah, yep, exactly. So let's say we go to trigger 0. We don't have any sounds there. Let's say that we want to add sword stabs because that happens at one point in this scene. And we can go to our search bar. We can search for sword stabs. And then once it finds every single sword stab in our expansive library, we can say, all right, yeah, those all sound good. We can drag it down onto our trigger here. And then now every time I press the 0 key, I'm getting one of those sounds placed right at the playhead.
Got it. So will you just do that one more time? Let's just see that. It's just so fun.
Yeah, all the Foley. Yeah, we can do that. We can just delete it. Let's delete all those tracks as well, and we'll just do it again. Awesome.
Wow.
And we have all of that Foley created right there in front of you in real time.
That's amazing.
Okay, so now that we've got that sound design pass and we've got the Foley now, the last thing we'd want to do is add some music to tie all of this together. And with our music and audio design desk, it's just as simple as triggering all the Foley. We just press the Z key and we would get a full music cue placed that we can replace in real time and audition several different music cues over the top of our video. That sounds like it could be a good lead up into the fight scene.
Can you show really quick how you can like change genres and do all that kind of stuff? Will you show us?
Absolutely. So say specifically, since we know this is an action scene we're playing through, we can say, let's do action. And then we're only going to get action cues here, but maybe we want to make it comedy, so we can play it through and we can say, oh, I'm going a little fast for it. And now we're only going to be getting comedy cues, which is, a great way to quickly find everything that you're looking for in any sort of moment. I believe sci-fi is a cue too. Let's select that one, and we can instantly have some sort of new age sci-fi synth waves here. So
super cool.
And so for this scene, I actually want to create my own score for this. And thank you for bringing me over to the replace window, because this is where I like to go to create all my own stuff, because then I can open up all of our sound packs. I can deselect all of the sounds except for the Marvelous pack, which is specifically our orchestra music construction kit. And with the construction kits, we can go to our trigger pad here. And you'll notice that we have beat, bass, chord, line, lead, all the essential elements of music you could ask for. And we can just start with a beat. Then we can play through that. And we can use Command R to hear several different variations that'll pop up. And but as I'm flipping through these, I noticed I also want it to be organic, because we're still getting some synthetic cues. So I can scroll down to organic in my replace window, as well as I want to make sure that this is a very intense percussion, because it's an intense scene. So I can select intensities 5 and 4. Now when we're replacing here, we can get only the most intense organic percussion elements. And then maybe if we just add a little more percussion on top of that, just some high end. Yeah. Okay, so I kind of like this one, but you'll notice as I was replacing that cue and testing out several different the elements there, that they were staying in time with each other. And that's because with our music construction kits, we were actually time stretching as well as pitch shifting all of these regions to match each other based on your global settings. That way you can cycle through thousands of different cues and create thousands of different scores on the fly while watching your video in real time. So let's just say we're going to stick with that. And I also want to add some bass to it, because you always need bass to make a great song. That's a good drone. Maybe we can get some like bass stabs. All right, maybe if we go back and also add a line to get some high end in the orchestra. All right, I think that that's starting to come together pretty well. We're going to bring down the snare, bring up the drums, and then maybe drop the high-end strings just a little bit. And I think everything should sound great now. So we're going to chop off the ends of these. Then we're going to unmute all of our sounds. We're going to grab the ends of our music here. We're going to line it up with our rise to hit, and then we can go back, we can play, we can, well, let's just make sure this is awesome. So that lined up perfectly. And I just want to go ahead and send this out to my director and see what he thinks of it. So I'm going to drop that point. We're going to bounce this out. And so we're going to make sure we're exporting the video, and we're going to upload it back to Frame.io where it came from. So my director can leave some comments for me, and we'll just name this one Sleepy Jo. And then he'll have this in just a moment.
Killer. So I just want to underline a couple of things that Jared was going over right there, especially when it comes to music, because finding the right music cue can be such a pain. Like the way that it works right now, you're going to all of these different websites, you're filtering through, you're typing things like drama, you're listening to these different songs, you're not watching it against your movie, you gotta download it, you go to your downloads folder, drag it into your timeline, you're listening to it the first time, might not be right. It's a really frustrating process. With our situation, and I'll have to bring in some kind of a video here, with our situation, it's you just press the letter Z, right? So, and then you start pressing Command R to try different sounds. So I'm just pressing Command R to find the right thing. And like Jared said, I can say, let's have it be action. So you get a sense of how much easier and how much more efficient it is to do it this way. But also with Audio Design Desk, like Jared was showing, we can create our own music. So I can say, you know what, I'm feeling like I'm in a funky mood. Let me find the word funk. Oh, it's going to be down here. And let's bring up my trigger pad. And I'll bring up one more thing here. Let me do my mega pack so we have a bunch of different options of genres. And now I'm going to say, let's close the video. I'm going to say, give me a beat. We'll bring this back to the beginning and give me a beat. All right, I'm feeling that. Let's try a different funk beat. All right, cool. So I'm going to duplicate that. I'm feeling good about it. I'm going to tell the system this is the tempo. Sorry, Zoom is getting in the way. And now everything else that I bring in will be stretched to that tempo. So hey, give me a bass. Heck yeah. Good morning. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. All right, I feel good about that. Now let's bring in a lead. Gonna keep building this. Let's swap this out. I'm just doing this in real time. So just building that all in real time, it's an incredibly easy and fun way to make music. But also, I'll just make this a little shorter since we were kind of making some, it's a real piece here. Oh, let me just trim this up, get rid of a couple of things here, and I'll go back here and cut this up. And I can say, hey, you know what? I want to take this music composition I made, and I'm going to click on 80s pop. Let's see what happens if I hit replace and it's 80s pop. Try some out. Great. Okay, you know what? Let's make this techno. I'm just going to select this, hit replace, and let's hear that. We're just making this music. So you can get really granular, or you can kind of quickly put something together depending on, you know, your needs and the needs of your clients. At this point, I think that the Frame.io transition has happened, so I'm going to hand it over to Will.
Thanks, Gabe. So as the director, I'm actually sitting across the country from both Gabe and Jared. And what I'm going to do here is open up Frame on my phone because I just saw a notification come in. So we will go back here. We'll open up Frame. And I've already made some comments here. Well, let's listen through the video first. That is insane. I sent them this video less than an hour ago, so it's amazing that we're getting this quality this fast. Now, there were a few things that I heard during the video. One was I wasn't super happy with the footsteps, so I just asked them to replace the footsteps, and then the rest of it sounds great. So I came to the end and I just said fade out and mix. So let's send that right back to Jared, who's on the other side of the country.
Awesome. Thank you, Will. And very excited to see what these comments are. So we can just go to our Frame.io window here. We have the video that I uploaded. I can just say fetch comments from them. We do know that we want these to be comment markers this time. And it's only 2 of them, which is great. But the first one is replace footsteps. Now, with any other DAW or NLE, we are kind of in a bind because now I'm going to have to delete all of these footstep sounds, bring in all new stems of footsteps, chop them up into their individual elements, and then replace them in this timeline. But with Audio Design Desk, since we have this content aware timeline, we can simply just go to our select drop down. Under subtype, you'll notice that we have sandal as well as sneaker. So we could select either a type of footstep if we're using a couple different types in a single scene, which you most likely will be, or we can select all the footsteps in this case, and we can go to our search window over here and we can put in wood, maybe dock as well, just because they're kind of running across a covered bridge. Then we could say footsteps, and yeah, we have all of these different types of sounds here. We can scroll through. This is again showing you how just large our library is at this point. Hollywood, oh, dock actual footsteps here. Maybe let's just select all of these, then we can press Shift Return. And all of those footsteps were immediately replaced in the timeline with these new dock footsteps, saving me hours worth of time. So our last comment out here is just fade out mix, which is great. We can bring our playhead out this way. And then we can just say like right here, I want to cut right before the next lightning strike. And we can chop those off. And now that we've done that, we can select all of these. And just add a nice little fade to the ends of them. And we are ready to send this out into our favorite editor. And we can send it to Premiere, Audition, Logic, Final Cut, Pro Tools, Media Composer. We have it all. Let's just say in this case,
let's send it to Logic just to be fun. Let's send an AAF to Logic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll send I guess Pro Tools AAF. I don't think Logic uses interleaved. So we'll send this AAF out. We'll organize the timeline so it looks all nice once it gets in there. And these should all be pretty good. Let's just do that. And in a moment, it'll just ask me to name this Sleepy Mix. All right, and that's going to go right on our desktop, and we'll save this. And in just a few seconds, not only will Audio Design Desk render out our timeline and export it, but it'll actually go through the process of importing it for you into your favorite DAW. Here we go. We have our whole project here. Awesome. And that's our clip in Logic.
Wow, amazing job, Jared. That was incredible. Will, good job too. This kind of just highlights how Audio Design Desk is integrated into a lot of different tools, and we're about to release some things that are really gonna blow your mind. So we hope we get invited back to show you what we're doing. We're building an integration right into Final Cut Pro, where for the first time ever, there'll be a digital audio workstation that is built in to Final Cut Pro, and we'll be doing the same for Premiere over time as well. The point for us is to make better work and to make it easier, to take away the pain and the frustration and the struggle and the chore of making great audio. In this case, we're showing you how to do an entire movie. In many use cases, all you need is the sound for a transition or for a title. That stuff is so easy for us. It will literally take you 3 seconds to create the sound that you're looking for your titles and for your transitions and things like that. Or if you do happen to have a big action scene, you can put all of that sound together in minutes instead of hours. So we thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you. Contact us. You'll reach a real person at info@add.app, or you can contact us through NoVeg. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kate. That was amazing. And I feel like I need to give you an Oscars at the end of this webinar. And it was fantastic. It makes me want, I'm a convert and I will try it out myself. And I invite everybody to visit noveg.com, where you can find Audio Design Desk, and you can talk to us. It's very easy and intuitive to buy a Noveg, no hassle, fast, quick, best experience ever. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of the day, everybody. Very nice meeting you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.